Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use DragBat here at Townhall 15 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition that we are going to be using today, and there's a couple of key things that you guys are going to want to make sure you bring. The first of which being the giant arrow on your queen. It's very important you bring this because we're going to be using it to snipe off some key buildings. Of course, if you haven't got that leveled up enough, I would definitely recommend doing that first. Next up, of course, plenty of dragons, 7 dragons coming on through in combination with 8 balloons, and we even have some dragon riders in there. Then for spells, you're going to see those 6 bat spells coming on through with a few free spells to help support them. So let's jump in and break down this army. So the first thing we're going to be doing, like I said, is using that queen's ability to snipe off one of two things. That's either going to be air sweepers or air defenses. In this particular one, because we have both of the air sweepers pointing down towards this bottom section of the base, that is where we're going to be attacking from, so that's where we're going to want to take down those sweepers. If you had them pointing in opposite directions, you could potentially snipe off a sweeper alongside an air defense, but it just so happens that unfortunately on this one, we're not quite able to do that. So you'll see popping off that queen's ability, it's going to fire all the way through the core of the base, taking down both of those sweepers and getting us off to a beautiful start. We then have those healers coming from that healer puppet ability. That queen can just do her job over there on that right hand side. Hopefully she's not going to encounter too many things hitting her, early on in this attack, and she can just begin to create that funnel. Next up, it's just a whole load of spam. We're going to be bringing in a couple of rocket loons to take down those defenses, over on that left hand side, bringing in the baby dragon in behind just to create that funnel, and then we just spam in the rest of our troops. That is of course going to be those balloons, those dragons, those dragon riders, and even our stone slammer. We're going to have plenty of free spells in this one, so we can use them to protect up some of our troops. In this particular case, we do drop them down on those single target infernos. Rage spell going to continue to be deployed through the core of the base, dropping that minion prince's ability at the opportune time, helping to just slow down all of these back end defenses. World champion going to be making an appearance from that left hand side of the base, taking care of that scatter shot for us, and now we can get thinking about our bat spells. There's a few key defenses that you're going to want to worry about when it comes to bat spells. The first of which being wizard towers. They can one-shot your bats, so you always need to know where are the wizard towers. Secondly, the town hall itself with those multi-beams, they could really cause you a lot of grief. Thirdly, multi-target infernos, and fourthly, scatter shots. So there's quite a lot of defenses up here at Townhall 15 that you do need to be very wary of, and that is why typically you're going to use your bats right on the back end of the base. Like you can see here, we have already used the majority of our troops to take down most of the key defenses. The bats are just going to be used as a supporting spell on the back end to help take down any remaining defenses. Typically you want to try and count the amount of splash damage buildings you have left on the back end and try to tie it in with the amount of free spells you have left up. So if there's 3 wizard towers, you're probably going to need about 3 free spells, so on and so forth. So let's jump in and take a look at another example, and we can talk about the bats in a little bit more detail. So moving through into that next example, in this particular one we should be able to snipe off an air defense alongside the sweeper. So you'll see we end up getting 2 air defenses and the sweeper in the core of the base, which is absolutely perfect. We didn't need to get the other sweeper because it's facing the other way, and taking down 2 of those air defenses, of course, when you're coming in with an air-based strategy, it's always going to benefit you. We then have the dragons coming in from that top left hand side of the base. They're just going to continue to push on through, and the stone slammer is going to be joining them. The queen trying to get as much value as she can over on that left hand side, but of course the main thing for her is to use the giant arrow at the start of the attack. Any other value she's able to get is going to be a benefit, but I would not really worry about her too much. Pushing in here, trying to deal with that town hall as quickly as possible. One thing I would say to you guys is, of course, we are bringing in the Stone Slammer in this attack because the Stone Slammer itself is a very strong siege machine that's able to do massive damage to a lot of defenses, but there's a high chance that you may not grab that Town Hall, because dragons typically, they can target any building, not just defenses. They have a tendency to walk around the outside of the base. So in this particular one, on a base like this, you may be able to switch up from the Stone Slammer to a Blimp, just 100% secure that Town Hall takedown. Now, as you can see, we have paused it up because we have the Bat Bomb coming on down. Now, in that previous one, you saw a Bat Wave, which is where the bats begin over on one side of the base. They then swarm in towards a defense. But in this particular one, we drop the bat spells down directly on top of that scatter shot. And that is because the scatter shot has a small ring around it that it's not able to attack. We're then going to be bringing in the Ice Golem over on this right hand side of the base. That freezes up that first wizard tower right there and allows us to get through it. But like I said on that previous one, try to count how many defenses you have left. So we had the scatter shot and we had the wizard tower, and that is how many free spells we had left. We actually end up with 1 to swag, but you'll see we maybe didn't quite need the bats on the back end of this one because the strategy itself is pretty effective even without them, but with the bats it makes it even stronger. Most of the time, completely overkill. And that third and final replay, again, we're going to be trying to get maximum value here from our queen, targeting this air defense, that air defense, and possibly even sniping off that sweeper. Let's just take a look. We managed to get... we get 1 of 3. So sometimes things don't go to plan. And then this particular one, they really didn't go to plan. Only getting a third of what you were trying to get is of course not ideal, but luckily for us here, this queen is actually going to be able to push over to this other air defense on this left hand side and at least take that one down. So remember, things don't always go to plan, but don't panic, don't just spam in your troops. Take your time and set up things the exact same way. Dragon's going to be coming in over there around about 3 o'clock just to begin that funnel. Our queen has been able to deal with the air defense on that left hand side, not a problem for us. We're then going to drop down that Grand Warden ability, trying to use it at the time when our dragons and our dragon riders and even our balloons are taking the most amount of damage, so they can be protected. Remember, hold on to those bat spells for a good amount of time. You're going to want to use them when there is not too many splash damage defenses left. As you can see, we still have the double multi-target Inferno in the core, scatter shot over there on the left, a couple of wizard towers even left up on the outside of the base, so just be careful. In this particular one though, things not quite going as strongly as we were potentially looking for. We are forced to use the Royal Champion from that top section of the base. We can see that she unfortunately is probably going to get locked onto by the King and the Monolith, so we decide to just go ahead and get our bats coming in. Again, coming in with that Bat Bomb, we decide to freeze up those defenses nice and early, then bringing in the Baby Dragon. That's actually going to be used to tank for that Wizard Tower, though we did still have plenty of free spells left up, which we can end up using on any of these remaining defenses. But this is going to be another 3-star with a few swag spells as well. Incredibly powerful. Maybe not quite as many swag troops on the back end of this one as in the previous ones, but it's definitely still a great example of how you can 3-star using DragBat here at Townhall 15. So if you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to us here at the Barracks for lots more content pushing all the way through into the years to come. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.